Hello and welcome to the Limiting Beliefs in Relationships series. My name is Olga Bochareva. I'm a relationships coach and advanced fast EFT practitioner. And in this series, I will teach you how to recognize, process, and release limiting beliefs, subconscious beliefs, invisible beliefs that keep even smart and conscious women stuck and out of love. Let's begin. One of the common questions that I get asked has to do with, Olga, where do I meet great men? And the truth is, it's a good question, and I think there are places where great men hang out. But a better or deeper questions would be, what kind of things I want to learn about finding this man that I hold within that prevent me from seeing them. Because the truth is, guys, great men are everywhere. And my intention and my work with women is to help women recognize it. That more often than not, that really number one problem that women that I work with face is not where to find it, but what kind of things I hold within, what kind of things I believe about myself and man that prevents me from seeing it and from moving there. So I received this question via email recently that has to do with, how do you recognize limiting beliefs? And you're probably thinking, well, Olga, if you're stating that limiting beliefs is the number one problem, how do I know that I have them? And what do they look like? What do they feel like? So let's start from the beginning. So limiting beliefs essentially has to do with something that you believe about yourself, consciously or subconsciously, and it's often manifests as a repeated thought, things that you think into yourself. And I'll talk about certain symptoms and certain ways to recognize it. Now, how do you know that you have a limiting belief in an area? Well, that's very simple. If you're not happy or if you're not feeling fulfilled in that area of life, that's how you know that there's probably something, a block, subconscious block, a limitation that holding you back from manifesting happiness in that area of your life. And so when you're looking for beliefs, when you're trying to spot them, always go back and thinking, okay, what kind of patterns do I fall into? I get a few emails recently sharing things like, I don't feel good enough, or I keep on attracting cheaters, or I don't feel like men are honest. And all of these things could be part of that belief system. Now, what's important about a limiting belief, once you recognize them and once you discover yours, is to know that they are harder to release than just thoughts and feelings, but they're not impossible to release. As a matter of fact, I wanted to introduce you to an autonomy of belief. This is my very advanced, very fancy picture. I hope you guys can see it. Okay, and so what it has here is the word belief on the top, and also how beliefs are formed and how they can be released through certain processes. So one of the processes that I work with people with, and I will teach you on today and in this video series, is the EFT or fast EFT or tapping process, which is a very simple version of emotional acupressure and one of the best tools to work with the subconscious mind. Now, the truth about subconscious mind, it doesn't follow the same rule as the conscious mind. This is why so often I have women who are widely successful in other areas of their life that come to me and say, Olga, I just wish I could figure out these relationships because I really can do well in both parenting and I can do well in my work. But when it comes to intimate relationships, for the love of God, I cannot hold on the marriage. I cannot keep the relationship. I cannot attract the man that I want to deserve. And so today we'll talk about how to deal with this. So going back to this fancy drawing, I want to introduce you to how beliefs are formed and how to get rid of them, how to release them, and how to replace them rather than get rid of them with a better, higher quality beliefs. So first thing I want you to notice that in order for belief to exist, it needs to be supported by the following three categories. It needs to be supported by memories that form that belief, by feelings, and something that I call proofs. So let's talk about each of the categories separately. So feelings are probably the easiest to relieve because EFT or fast EFT, what I will be teaching you, really a great tool to help you change how you feel. Now, when it comes to proofs or memories, it requires a little bit more work with the right step and structure. It's also very doable, very solvable problem. And we'll talk about releasing proofs and memories in videos 2 and 3 of this series. So let's begin with the first common limiting beliefs that most of us face. And I know it's probably not new to you, and you probably heard it and definitely felt like this before. And this is something that is known as I'm not good enough belief. There is this sense in all of us, we all experience this on some level, that deeply, fundamentally, we are flawed. There is some kind of, that is a part of us that doesn't believe that we're deserving, or we need to do something, or to be something, or to fix something before we allow good things in our lives. Now, another form of these beliefs could be something like I'm not worthy, or I don't deserve to have it, or I need to do something. Now, the derivative of that belief is feeling guilty when good things are happening, or overthinking or questioning yourself, the product of your work, your actions, especially when it comes to relationships. Now, I want you to be aware of this belief, and I want you to be aware of the fact that if you're holding to this, which many of us are, on a deeper level, it's a fundamental one to address and to start chipping off. Why? Because it will sink in every area of your life. It will transform in your money issues, in relationships with friends, it will transform in your health. If you don't believe you are good enough as you are, where you are, to have things that you want and desire, subconsciously you will create reasons not to have them. Now, in different people, this belief shows up differently. I want to give you an example of how it showed up in my marriage. A few years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I was sitting and contemplating this question: what are my limiting beliefs? And at that time, things were going good in my life. My business was doing well. I had kids that I really loved, and a lot of other areas were prospering and happy, except one: the marriage. The marriage with my husband was very toxic. I felt very unsatisfied. We had no to little communication. And I just couldn't figure out, for the love of God, what I was doing wrong, because I was trying to fix my marriage over and over. I read all the books on this planet. And it's not until I realized that there is a belief that I'm holding on to, that I keep on creating the situation, I keep on manifesting in my life, that I was able to change it. Now, what I really wanted is the connection with another human being. I want to have a partner to do life with. I want to have somebody that could have a deep, conscious conversation, somebody who can support me in my dreams and desires, and has ambitious dreams, and desires of his own. I always wanted to go deeper, and with the ex-husband of mine, I wasn't able to do it. I wasn't able to even have a conversation about my emotions with him, leave alone bigger topics like sex or money. And so I started working on this, and I realized that one of the beliefs that I'm holding on to, especially toward to the end of the marriage, when I realized that this relationship has run its course, and things that I deeply desire, things that my heart truly want to manifest in this life, they're not possible in these relationships. And so I started to work with myself, and I realized that there is a belief in me that was holding me back for years that goes somehow like this. And the reason why I'm sharing with you guys, because I want you to start thinking about your beliefs. What is underneath that I'm not good enough or I'm not worthy? Because it's a very general belief. Everybody has it, right? So start looking deeper. Start how you manifest it. What is your personal flavor of this self-sabotage, right? Of this belief. And so in my case, it went somehow like this. I believe I could have a relationship, a lasting relationship, and committed with someone, but not with the type of man who could accept me as I am. I couldn't conceive an idea that I can be with a man who is conscious and deep and financially intelligent and emotionally intelligent, but who can take me as I am, as an ambitious, strong character, somebody who wants to learn and grow, somebody who is a fast EFT practitioner. What in the world is that? And so I started tapping on this belief and working on that. And it's not until I released it, I was able to attract a man just like this in my life. So those of you who don't know my story, this is my second marriage. We've been together for a couple of years, and it's an incredibly thriving and very healthy relationships. And the reason why I started doing this work is because I see so many women who got out of the first relationship and they're kind of repeating the same mistake over and over. And because of the work that I've done in things that I've discovered, I've learned it the hard way. So the purpose of my life and my deepest passion is to help women create intimate, beautiful, deep relationships with their loved ones. And so start thinking about what are some of your beliefs and how you're creating it in your life and how you manifest it over and over. Today, I want to introduce you to a tool. If you're not familiar with tapping or EFT or fast EFT, it's an incredible tool. It's super easy to help you change the way you feel, which, as we discussed, one of the first steps to releasing that belief, right? It's changing the feelings. We'll talk about memories of proof as the next level tomorrow. And so start noticing what kind of feelings come up. Start noticing what kind of thoughts you are replaying in your mind. What is it that you believe about yourself, especially when it comes to I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough. We're going to do a quick round of tapping. If you're not familiar with tapping, no worries. It's super simple. Just follow along, do what I do, say what I say. But essentially, it's stimulating the acupressure points that communicate or integrate with the body organs in our system, in our body, and allow us to change the way we feel. Now, you're probably thinking, well, Olga, the way how I feel is in my head. It's my feeling. It's my thoughts. That's not true. The way how you feel is actually in your body. When stress hits or negative belief hits or negative emotion hits, what happens is your heart starts racing, your blood runs to all the organs in your body, so you can run or fight and flight. You can feel your kidneys start pumping adrenaline, right? So all of this is a part of fight and flight syndrome. So there's about 400 changes happens in the body in the moment we're feeling the feelings, strong feelings essentially. And this tapping technique is actually what helps you kind of connect your body with your mind and make these changes and counteract this very strong stress reaction, which allows you to feel the way you feel on a deeper level. I've been using tapping for many years now for a variety of things, but relationships probably been my most incredible way where just huge changes happen because of this technique. And so, along with other things, I will teach you that in the series. Now, just relax, sit back. We're going to do a quick round of tapping on releasing I'm not good enough belief. And what I want you to do, guys, I want you to rinse and repeat. So if you feel like, okay, there's a little bit more, just listen to this video again, tap again, and start clearing it. You also will notice as you say those things out loud, things that you deeply believe about yourself, they're not good enough thoughts, they're not good enough symptoms, you will feel better and lighter. And the more you tap, the more you feel that. So I want to encourage you to make this self-care practice essentially what it is a part of your day. At this time, just close your eyes and take a deep breath. And breathe out. And in your mind, go to this place where part of you, doubting you, feel like you are not good enough, that you're not worthy, there's something you need to do or say to change about yourself to allow happiness and abundance in your life. And as you feel that, just kind of stay with this for a moment. The points that we're going to use, one between the eyes, one on the side of the eyes, one under the eyes, one on the collarbone. Just kind of shake your shoulders a little bit. And we're going to wrap the hand like this. Just a couple of minutes. Ready? As you feel this feeling, tap with me, say what I say, do what I do. Just say, I release and let go of that not good enough feeling. I'm so glad that I'm spotting this belief, that I'm processing this belief. This time, I'm going to do something different about my emotions, about my feelings, and about my beliefs. I'm going to deal with them. I'm going to feel them. And I'm going to process it. And this is the first step. I'm excited of how my life will change once I no longer see the world through the eyes of lies, through the green glasses versus white glasses. I've been perceiving something from a certain point of view, from a certain angle. And as a result, I've been attracting those experiences into my life. It's safe to let it go now. It's all in the past. It's my time to go deeper to get curious, and to release those inner fears, limiting beliefs, and everything else that no longer supports me. I'm willing and deserving of creating life of love, freedom, and abundance. This is my birthright, and so it is. Finish tapping, go ahead and grab your wrist. And again, just like I said, rinse and repeat. Take a deep breath and breathe out. Very good. I hope you enjoyed this video, but remember, the best way to get most out of this experience is to take action. So today, my call for action for you would be a question. I am very interested. What is your personal version of not good enough syndrome? I shared mine, how it manifested in my life, and how clearing it helped me create the kind of life I wanted for many years. So below in the comments, I would love to hear from you. What is your personal version of the not good enough syndrome? How do you manifest it? How do you think about it? Where it came from? Just go ahead and spill it out on a paper. We are here to support you and to cheer you on in this journey. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love you to share it with a friend. There's a link below for you to send this video series to somebody who might find it useful. And also, if you found it helpful and you're ready for next step, I personally would love to support you on this journey. Please click the link below to learn how I work with women just like you to help them create thriving and healthy relationships. With that said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video tomorrow.